Over the past 5 years, I've made lists of things that I wanted to do before my next birthday. It started off with a 25 before 25 list, and then 26 before 26, and so on, all the way up to last year with my 29 before 29 list. Because of those lists, I've done several things that I might have not otherwise done. I started volunteering with Big Brothers Big Sisters. I completed an Ironman distance triathlon, I guess actually 2. And then I ran a 100-mile ultramarathon. I quit my job and started a small business. I learned to play Beethoven's Für Elise on the piano. I got a tattoo. Due to a friend's suggestion, I learned to throw ninja stars. And finally, I proposed to the woman who is now my wife. Now, some of those things I might have done otherwise without these lists, but by creating a list every year of things I want to do in the upcoming year, it kind of forces me to focus on things that I might not otherwise do. This past year, I accomplished 16 of my 29 before 29 goals. Completing 16 goals was almost as many goals completed as the previous 4 years combined. I'll be turning 30 this year and kind of feel like I've got this whole goal setting and goal achieving thing somewhat figured out. So this year, I'm gonna ratchet up the intensity a little bit for my 30 before I turn 30 list. It's a monumental birthday, so I figure the goals should be somewhat monumental as well. This year I've broken my goals down into 6 different areas. There's health, fitness, lethal engineering / lethal try, my YouTube channel and blog, business and productivity, adventure, and other. Let's start with health. Last year I had goals concerning eating a certain number of fruits and vegetables each day, which I accomplished, but then I would go out and eat a bunch of sugar and fast food. I plan to rectify that this year with these 4 goals. Number 1 is 200 days of no added sugar. I eat a lot of junk food, and I need to stop. I know it's not healthy for me, but I'm like an addict when it comes to sugar. Eating a whole bunch of ice cream or Skittles, just junk food that I go and get at the gas station. So this year I plan to cut that out. Number 2 is 500 home-cooked meals. We spent a lot of money last year eating out, like several thousands of dollars on fast food. In order to improve my diet, I need to start eating healthier foods, and it's also cheaper for me to eat those healthier foods if I cook them myself. Goal number 3. No fast food for 200 days. So I talked about previously, we spent a whole bunch of money eating out last year. I'd like to lessen that amount and then also stop eating shit food like Chick-fil-A and McDonald's and Jimmy John's and stuff like that. Goal number 4, eat 4 servings of vegetables for 200 days. If I don't have a goal to eat vegetables, I tend not to. By creating this goal, I hope to try to force myself to develop a habit of eating vegetables so I get all of those micronutrients. All right, let's move on to the next category, which is fitness. Goal number 5, complete 1 ultra endurance event. It's been a long time since I've completed any event over like 4 hours in length. In the past, I've completed, 2 Ironmans and the 1 ultra marathon, and I'd like to do something of that difficulty this year. Goal number 6, qualify for the Ironman World Championships, either in the full distance or the 70.3 distance. I've been doing triathlons for the past 5 years, and the first 1 or 2 years were probably my most successful years in terms of the speed that I was able to achieve. I'd like to really focus on increasing my speed this year and getting to that elite level of the sport. Goal number 7, fastest known time on the Wabash Trace. The Wabash Trace is a trail that goes from Council Bluffs, Iowa, down to like the border of Iowa and Missouri. And the fastest known time is like the fastest time to complete the trail, running in this instance. The trail's about 63 miles long one way, and the current fastest known time is 20 some hours. So it's definitely achievable to break, and I think it'd be cool to say that I have a fastest known time. Goal number 8, qualify for the Boston Marathon. Now, I really got into endurance sports after running my first marathon, and my first marathon is the fastest one I've ever run at 3 hours and 43 minutes. I believe in order to qualify for the Boston Marathon in my age group, I'd need to run a 3:05, which is a significant increase in speed from what I've currently been able to obtain. Goal number 9, build the Buff Dudes Power Rack. In addition to all of my kind of running, swimming, and biking goals, I'd also like to get physically stronger. In order to do that, I'd like to have a power rack in my house. There's this YouTube video by the Buff Dudes where they build a power rack in their basement. It looks easy to do, and I think it'd be a great thing to have, so that lifting weights is something that's just simple to do. Goal number 10, build the ultimate trainer setup. The trainer is something that I hook my bike up to so that I can ride indoors. It's got this flywheel that spins. And I spend a lot of time on the trainer. So the idea is to have like two 40-inch 4K televisions that are then docked to my laptop so that I can do, my business type of work while riding on the trainer. All right, next category is lethal engineering and lethal try. So this is my YouTube channel as well as my blog. And goal number 11 is to join the Milwaukee Makerspace. So I really enjoy building things and constructing things. It lets me kind of this outlet of creativity. And there's a lot of tools that I don't have, like laser cutters, CNC machines, things like that this Milwaukee Makerspace has. By joining that Makerspace, I'll not only have access to those tools, but also to people who think building those kind of things is interesting as well. Goal number 12, 20 lethal engineering videos. In order to have a successful YouTube channel, I think I need more content. 20 YouTube videos would be a good start. Number 13, 10 lethal try videos. So lethal try is this channel that you're watching here, and I'd like to create videos that showcase me trying to accomplish my goals. I find videos of other people trying to accomplish their goals interesting and think maybe I could create something interesting as well. Goal number 14, 25 blog posts. When I first started making these lists of things I wanted to do before my birthday, I started off by creating a blog. So I've been using that blog the last 5 years to post my lists of things I want to accomplish, as well as the results, and then any individual posts about different goals. I'd like to have 25 posts this year so people can follow along and maybe chime in if they have any ideas on how I could accomplish these goals. The next category is business and productivity. Goal number 15 is to obtain a contract with a Class 1 railroad. The business I do is railroad engineering design. We've been in business for the past 3 years and have kind of hit a plateau in terms of revenue. The next major step is to obtain a direct contract with one of these large railroads. As an owner of the business, I need to be more aggressive about expanding our business. Goal number 16, daily planning for 200 days. Being self-employed, I kind of feel scattered throughout the day as to what my next task should be. I'd like to develop a habit of planning out my day every morning. Goal number 17, set up a simple IRA. Most businesses have like a 401k plan or some sort of retirement plan for their employees, and I'd like to create something for our employees. A 401k plan is expensive to get going, but the IRS also offers a plan called a simple IRA, which is more targeted for small businesses. It has much lower costs associated with it to the business, but also would allow me to increase my own personal retirement contributions and also help our employees. Goal number 18, increase net worth to $250,000. This is kind of a stretch goal. Last year, my goal was to increase our net worth from $60,000 to $100,000, and we successfully did that. We actually went from $60,000 to $120,000, which was a welcome surprise. I'd like to continue on that trend this year, but I guess it's another huge increase. So going from $120,000 to $250,000 is near doubling it, and will require not only increased earnings, but also decreased spending. The next category is adventure. Goal number 19 on my list is to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. It's something I've considered before, and after talking with some of my friends, they told me they were thinking about climbing Mount Kilimanjaro and invited me to go along with them. Mount Kilimanjaro is the tallest mountain in Africa, but it's not a very difficult climb. There's no actual rock climbing. It's all like hiking, but at extremely high altitudes. Goal number 20. Build a greater than 1,000 piece Lego set. I've never built any sort of Lego kit, but looking at them online, I think they look really cool. It's kind of a nerdy hobby to take up, but I figure I'd give it a shot, see if it's something I enjoy doing. Goal number 21, see a Falcon Heavy launch. Watching the first Falcon Heavy launch, watching the 2 boosters, come down and land, gave me goosebumps. It was so cool to see. I'm a big fan of what Elon Musk is doing with Tesla and SpaceX, and imagine it'd be cool to see those boosters land in person. Goal number 22, bike the Katy Trail. The Katy Trail was an old railroad line that goes through Missouri. It's been converted to be a bike trail now. I forget how long it is. I think it's like 200 to 300 miles long. This previous year, I biked the Cowboy Trail, which was about 170 miles in Nebraska. The Katy Trail is much more popular though, and longer as well. Goal number 23, go to a Packers game at Lambeau Field. We moved up to Wisconsin about 2 years ago for my wife's job, and I feel like going to Lambeau Field is something I have to cross off while we live here. It's actually something my wife is interested in going to do as well, which I would not have expected. Goal number 24, SCUBA/PADI certified. My wife and her family are big scuba divers. Her grandfather having a house down in Honduras where they go down and go scuba diving. So I'd like to join them at some point, but need to become PADI certified first. The next category is other. Goal number 25 is to donate $5,000. I've always considered myself somebody who kind of cares about other people, but my actions when it comes to donating would not reflect that. Over my lifetime, I'd say I've donated less than $5,000, which, given how much kind of like surplus income I have, I feel is unacceptable and not reflective of my values. So this year, I plan to at least start rectifying that by donating $5,000 to charity. Goal number 26, volunteer 100 hours. So along those same lines of helping other people, this year I'd like to volunteer 100 hours. I'm currently participating in Big Brothers Big Sisters and think volunteering through that organization is how I'll get those hours. Number 27, wake up before 4:30 a.m. for a month straight. Working from home and setting my own schedule, it's really easy to sleep in and kind of waste away the day. So this year I plan on developing a habit of waking up early and at a consistent time. There's this ex-Navy SEAL named Jocko Willink who always posts on Instagram the photos of his watch at 4:30 a.m. when he wakes up and says that that's what productive people do, is they wake up early. In an attempt to be more productive, I plan on waking up at 4:30 a.m. for a month straight. Goal number 28 is kind of all these random goals for cleaning the house. Like I said, I work from home, so I spend a lot of time at home, and having our house be dirty is starting to bother me. This year I'm going to develop a habit to clean it more frequently, vacuuming a couple times a week, wiping surfaces down, making sure everything has a place, getting rid of all of our excess things. Those are all part of this goal. Goal number 29, no news, social media, YouTube, Netflix for a month. I waste a lot of time every day through those 4 things, and they don't bring me a lot of personal satisfaction. It's kind of just something to do when I'm bored. So for at least 1 month, I plan on eliminating all 4 of those things just to see what I could potentially do with that extra free time, which I'm sure is several hours a day. There are things that are much more meaningful and gratifying to me than staring at my phone, and by forcing myself to do those things that are probably more difficult, but also more gratifying, I can hopefully develop more positive habits. And last, goal number 30, track my time by the minute and my happiness every couple of hours for a month straight. In goal number 29, I mentioned how I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time, and I'd like to see where I do spend my time. I really don't know, exactly how my time is broken up through the day. So by tracking it, I hope to see where I'm spending time so that I can make better decisions on how to use my time. I also plan on tracking my happiness. That way I can see which activities actually bring me enjoyment, or and which things kind of bum me out, so that I can do more of the things that bring me happiness. So that's my list for this year. Making this list makes me kind of nervous. This is the enjoyable part of the process, kind of setting out the goals for this year. It's enjoyable to kind of set these ambitious goals without thinking about the full ramifications of what it will take to accomplish them. It'll require significant changes for me to accomplish all 30 of these goals. These are all things I want to do, but I get kind of this worst case anxiety about starting them. None of them are dangerous, so it really doesn't make sense because none of them have any sort of danger associated with them. But the thought of starting something new that I haven't done before gives me a little bit of anxiety. It's probably also because I really don't see anybody else doing something like this, creating a list of goals and then publishing it out there for everybody to see. None of these goals are out of reach by any means. I can see a path forwards towards accomplishing all of them. And as long as I take small steps every day, there's no reason I couldn't accomplish all 30 of these goals. I plan on posting updates on this channel every couple of weeks. So if that's something you'd be interested in following along, then you might consider subscribing. You can also check out videos from my other channel, my lethal engineering channel, and then some of the goals that I've accomplished in previous years over on the side. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.